Hello and welcome to the Splendor of Heaven podcast. My name is Laura Bovard. Today I'm going to share with you a vision that I had about storing up treasures in heaven. This vision gives you a really good idea of what treasures in heaven are. And I wanted to point out in the Bible what a seer is. I am a seer, someone who sees visions. God opens my eyes to supernatural things, to the heavenly realm. And he gives me visions for many reasons, to teach me things, to give me direction in my life. He actually gives me visions sometimes for other people to minister to them. Or he gives me visions about spiritual concepts. And I just love that because he gives me a really good, deep idea of something that I never thought about from that perspective or in that way. You know, heaven's perspective is the most important, thorough, and wise perspective that there is. Well, if we read in 1 Samuel 9:9, we see it says, "Formerly in Israel, if someone went to inquire of God, they would say, 'Come, let us go see the seer,' because the prophet of today used to be called a seer." So we can tell that a prophet is called a seer. Well, there's a difference between the position of a prophet and the gift of prophecy. I do not claim to be a prophet. Make sure you understand that. I have the gift of prophecy, a gift that is given by the Holy Spirit as described in 1 Corinthians 12:10. Now, along with that prophetic gift comes the ability to see into the heavenly spiritual realm by the power of the Holy Spirit. But not everybody who has the gift of prophecy has the seeing ability. That is just established by God. And he has done that with me ever since I was a very little child. So I am going to share with you a vision that I received not that long ago in my book. And this book is called Poems of the Cross, The Secret Place of Prayer, and Heavenly Visions. There are 17 visions in this book. And this is one of them called Store Up Treasures in Heaven. During prayer, I saw a large wooden treasure chest with a high rounded top sitting on the very green grass in heaven. There was a vast blue sky behind it, and the chest was open a few inches. There were pearl necklaces, diamond necklaces, and gold bead necklaces draped over the edge of it. I knew that it was filled with fine jewelry. As I was wondering about the chest, suddenly I saw large pink, red, and white hearts begin to rise up from the inside of it. Now, this is very important. I began to see large pink, red, and white hearts rise up from the inside of it and float into the sky. The hearts appeared to be about 6 inches in height, and there were so many they filled the sky as they floated upward. The chest contained the contents of a person's heart. Now, do you see how the treasure in the chest was what that person's heart treasured? So, I thought that was very explanatory. Then I heard the Holy Spirit say, from Matthew 6:19 through 21. Now, the Holy Spirit will refer to the Word all of the time because one of the functions of the Holy Spirit is to remind us of the words that Jesus said. "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." The Lord was impressing deeply upon me to understand the treasures of the heart. Any one thing or person that we admire, dream about, lean on, trust in, place our hope in. Do you treasure Jesus? Or find great value in is what our heart treasures. How we spend our time, focus our thoughts, and how we spend our money usually reveals what treasures we hold deep in our hearts. The Holy Spirit was teaching me through this vision that our treasures should be stored up in heaven, which are righteous things. Here it is what we should be storing. spiritually taught righteous things from God, heavenly kingdom things. These things, such as the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Galatians 5:22 and 23. Those things we should be treasuring and storing up in our hearts. How we treat others, our service to God, and our trust in His Word are treasures laid up in heaven. His Word is a treasure. The Word talks about storing up the Word in my heart so that I might not sin against you. The Word is a treasure to our lives. In so many ways, the Word is even medicine to our soul, and it is wisdom. They are not only a benefit to our lives and others while living on the earth, but they are a benefit to us when we get to heaven. And there's scriptural backing for that. So I just wanted to share this with you today to help you to understand the treasures that we should be storing in our hearts. They are supernatural, spiritual realities taught in the Bible, and we can store those inside of our heart, and that becomes who we are. And so we're like a treasure to the world. Jesus lives inside of us, and we live inside of Him through the Word. He lives inside of us. So we are storing His treasure, who He is, inside of us, like that treasure chest that I saw in the very beginning of the vision. So I pray today that you are storing those spiritual treasures, kingdom of heaven treasures in your heart. Lay up your treasures in heaven. We'll see you next time.